Namaste, dear listeners. Welcome to the Iowa channel. Astro Abi, Oneness in Astrology and Spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abi. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please make sure hit the subscribe button, like and share this podcast with as many people that you think would benefit from my insight. Now, we are discussing all the do's and don'ts for the planets that are in retrograde or that will retrograde. You need to know the do's and don'ts. We've covered I think at least seven already. I think now we're going to do the Neptune retrograde, the do's and don'ts for the Neptune retrograde. Um, let's understand what Neptune is. Now, Neptune is the planet or dimension of existence, or the dimension of reality that governs the spirituality or the higher consciousness in you, the ability to reach higher consciousness, the ability to reach higher vibrations, the ability to reach higher frequencies as a consequence to know more, to perceive more, to understand more, and to be more. The reason why you are not more, not understanding more, or not realizing much is because of low vibration. Now, Neptune is that which governs high vibration. Neptune is a high vibrational planet, high frequency. Okay. Now, let's move straight into it. What you should do during a Neptune retrograde? Well, this is number one. You need to embrace introspection. This is a time for deep reflection, meditation. You need to connect with your true self, your spirit. You need to connect with your spirit. You need to move closer to your spirit. You need to become one with your spirit. You need to realize your spirit. You need to trust your intuition. That gut feeling that you have, they can offer you valuable guidance. You need to reassess whatever relationships you have. You need to be very honest. You need to come out of illusion. Now we must remember Neptune is also the planet that can make you feel you can stay in illusion depending how the Neptune is placed in your natal chart. Neptune is also the planet that rules Pisces, and a lot of Pisces people are um, in a bit of a dreamland. It can make you live in a land or live a life which don't exist in reality. You could be living a fairy tale life. Now, during a Neptune retrograde, you need to evaluate your connections with people. And in fact, you need to evaluate your connection with your true self. You need to address this issue. You need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries and implement the limits and structures in relationships and overall life to maintain your well being and energy. You have to practice self care. During a Neptune retrograde, it's very easy for you to slip out of self care, abandon yourself, and lose the grip of yourself. I've seen this happen many, many times. You need to prioritize activities that nourish your body and soul, like rest, eating healthy. Well, this is something you got to do all the time, but it becomes a bit more difficult during a Neptune retrograde. You need to engage in rejuvenating activities. You need to write down the dreams that you have. You need to write down the aspirations, your goals. You need to practice mindfulness. You need to be honest, cultivate honesty. And you need to avoid being deceptive. You need to avoid staying in an illusion. These are the things that you need to not do now. You need to stop being deceptive, living a life of deception and unrealistic expectations. When you look at your expectations, are they fair? Now, you should never, never, ever base your decision on wishful thinking during a Neptune retrograde. And a quick example like this here is by telling somebody not in a relationship, I do not want to be with you because you do not want to take this relationship any further. There's no commitment from engagement or marriage, and then you decide to break that relationship. It's not a right thing to do as a reason for you to leave a relationship because another person is not ready, and if you feel you're ready and you want to leave just purely on that day, then me personally, I don't feel that is the right way to leave. Unless the person is not respecting you, unless the person is abusing you, then it's different. But if the person is very loving, caring, and the person is just asking for a little bit more time, then you should not make those decisions based on wishful thinking. You should never neglect your boundaries during a Neptune retrograde. And definitely do not let illusions control your relationships. Now, we've just spoken about this here. Be honest with yourself. Relationships are definitely hard work, but if you're gonna, even holding on to a relationship just because you're scared of being alone, that's what you should never do. And you should never, 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 never neglect self-care. You got to prioritize your well-being, and you must do the things that rejuvenate yourself. Now, because Neptune is a planet that is, governing Pisces, which is the 12th sign, the spiritual sign, we must also understand that the energy that's not used with proper understanding or not knowing how to use energy, you can create chaos into your life. And a lot of people create chaos in their life because they do not know how to manage that extra energy that they have. This is where anxiety kicks in. This is where sleepless nights kick in. The mind is on overdrive. So, with a Neptune retrograde, it can make your mind go on overdrive. And what you should do is to calm that mind. And what do you do to calm the mind? Meditation. So you must practice meditation, because meditation is the only thing that will help you to stir the mind. So the biggest thing out of all what you should do during a Neptune retrograde is meditate. And the biggest thing that you should not do is make decisions out of impulse. All right. Thank you very, very much, dear listeners. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Haribol. And please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, and share this podcast. Goodbye.